Hey guys, it's your humble host, or Kale if you prefer. So I'm back with another video. So we had the hearing yesterday on the two motions that Anne filed, and there was concern that no one from the media was going to be there to cover it in time, but lo and behold, the Texan was able to make it. So we're going to go over their article. It's fairly small. And then I'm going to show you some quick things about the motion because Anne and her lawyers are that freaking stupid. And she does have now two new lawyers working for her. Hearing to remove Judge Kim Cooks from James Younger case held in Dallas. Last month, Ann Georges, the mother of James Younger, filed a motion for recusal against Judge Kim Cooks. A hearing on the motion was held yesterday, and a ruling is expected to come before December 9th. In October, the custody battle between Georges and Jeff Younger over whether their 7-year-old son should be raised as his biological sex made national headlines. A jury said that there should be a sole manager conservatorship over James and his twin brother, but that the father should not be made the sole managing conservator. And that is true, but that does not mean that they indicate that it should be Anne. Because Anne didn't ask for it in her pleadings. In her final verdict, Judge Kim Cooks ruled that the joint managing conservatorship between Younger and Georges would remain in place and that they would share medical decisions because it defaulted, because both questions were not answered with a yes, or both questions are not answered with a no, or you know what I mean. So yeah, it defaulted back to joint conservatorship. That is why I spoke with Odin Neal right after the hearing and posted that clip onto Twitter. But you know, Anne's legal team is that freaking stupid. After the trial had ended, Cook shared an article from the Dallas Morning News on her Facebook page stating the governor nor any legislator had any influence on the court's decision. Now, there's something I want to touch upon real quick because there is some confusion. It's not, to my knowledge, that was a personal Facebook post. That was not on her public page, and that was not on her Twitter. Because it just says on her Facebook page. Because when I went looking around after I first heard of the accusation and things like that, I didn't find any screenshots. I found nothing, and I dug for quite a bit. And so I assumed it was the personal Facebook profile. And if it is, that's a whole other ball of wax. But again, this was after the verdict was given. This was not before. She didn't say anything before. But of course, you know, Anne and her legal team are freaking desperate. The mother's legal team filed a motion for Cook's recusal based on her public comments about the case, which she really didn't say anything. She just said, hey, I wasn't influenced either way, arguing that it indicated her impartiality had been compromised. Chad Barrett, the mother's attorney, reiterated this at the hearing on Wednesday. And for those of you who do not know who this guy is, he's supposed to be the top appealant attorney in all of Dallas, Texas. And if I sound a bit funny, I'm a little bit under the weather, so I do apologize. But yeah, he's supposed to be like the top notch. Now, he does not win every appellant case, but he does have high praise whether he wins or loses. So he's supposed to be a really top-tier lawyer, and he charges $500 an hour. So, by the way, let me make a note, too, because it was also in Anne's pleadings, both Jeff and Anne's pleadings for each other to pay their attorney's fees. Well, Kim Cooks, part of her ruling was that they pay their own. So she's trying to rack up all these legal fees and expect Jeff to pay for it. So don't forget that's also part of Kim Cooks' ruling that everybody pay for their own stuff that Anna's trying to get overturned. So yeah, she wants her way and she wants money. And she's racking up the bill thinking Jeff is going to pay for everything. This is how stupid these people are. I'm so done with this woman. Anyway, Chad Barrett, the mother's attorney, reiterated this at the hearing on Wednesday, contending that nothing the judge posted was in the best interest of the children, which she really didn't say anything about the children, whether one parent was bad or good over the other. What the hell, dude? In the case, or to advance justice, but to simply advance her own political aims. Wow. Pot calling the kettle black. What? Oh my, wow. Anne has been trying to push James into being a girl for quite a few years now to push her own political agenda because her daughter Zoe is into the transgender ideology and cult. It is a cult. Um, and not to mention, again, for those of you who don't remember, Anne's practice is an affiliate of Children's Place. They're running a study on children with quote unquote gender dysphoria. So yeah, I'm sure she gets a nice little kickback from that hypothesis there. But yeah, makes you think. Somebody actually dropped that on my Twitter inbox last month, and I do apologize that it escapes me. But thank you so much for putting that in my inbox because that was good info. Let's see, the amicus attorney on, oh, excuse me, I missed one bit. Logan O'Neill, Younger's attorney, contended that the motion should fail because Cook's actions do not meet the legal requirement for acquittal. They don't. Especially since her comments came after her final verdict, which they did. And there's not even screenshots of them, so I have to assume they came on her personal Facebook profile, not her public page. The amicus attorney on the case, appointed by the court, this is Stacey Dunlap, by the way, to be neutral, third-party voice reached the same conclusions as O'Neill and asked the motion to be denied. Judge Tana Callahan, a retired judge, was brought in to preside over Wednesday's hearings. She shall make her decision before December 9th. This is written by Daniel Friend. This is the same guy that went in and covered the hearing back in October for the Texan. So, yeah, you do. I'm not going to say anything about this new judge. I'm really not. I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds you. But I have looked into that judge. It was her past. There's a bunch of stuff, I guess, before she retired, but there is, in the case of, I guess, they were called the Tut family, she did rule in their favor that CPS had overstepped their bounds. And I remember hearing about the case floating around here and there, and CPS came in, snatched the kids from the parents, and accused the parents of not giving their children the medical attention that the child supposedly needed by CPS claims. So the system is broken, obviously. So this is the motion that Anne had filed, and we're going to look at the questions again because it's how stupid these people are. Question 1. Should the current joint managing conservatorship be replaced by sole manager conservatorship of James and Jude? Yes. Should Jeffrey Damien Younger be appointed as the sole managing conservator of James and Jude Younger? No. Okay. So Anne and her legal team automatically think it implies her. Hey, no, stupid. A third party looking into that could be implying CPS, Child Protective Services, and have the children become a ward of the state. Just because they said no to Jeff does not mean they say yes to you. You freaking whack job. Okay, so let me read the conclusion here, and then we're going to wrap it up because I need some hot tea before I go to work. The jury that there should be a sole managing conservator and that Jeffrey Younger should not be sole managing conservator. Thus, it is the court's duty to harmonize the answers. And the only one option is this. No, there's two options, dumb shit. There is two. There is Anne and CPS. That does not automatically mean Anne should get it. And nor did you ask for it in your pleadings. Good Lord. Anne Georgia should be named the sole managing conservator. This court cannot contravene the jury's answer that there should be a sole managing conservator, and neither party pleaded for joint managing conservatorship. So that is something too, because actually, you know what? No, that's okay. That part is actually bullshit. So Jeff asked for sole conservatorship. Well, Anne wanted to keep the joint conservatorship. You're so full of shit, Anne, because you guys, Jessica Janik made it such a point to demonize Jeff that he wouldn't co-parent with Anne. And Jeff goes, I can't even co-parent with her. She doesn't listen. She's just, no. Oh, you guys are so full of shit. Jeff was the only one that asked for sole conservatorship. And Anne, you and your legal team wanted to keep joint conservatorship and you made it a point that Anne was a good parent because she wanted to keep the joint conservatorship and try to co-parent. which in reality you don't, but whatever. But yeah, no, you're so full of shit. I love that. And neither party pleaded for joint manager conservatorship. Um, yeah, I've already repeated myself several times, but yeah, you do not ask for it in your pleadings and sole conservatorship. No, you cannot get what you do not ask for. Furthermore, Jeffrey Younger did not plead for joint managing conservatorship. Well, no shit. He was the only one that pleaded for sole conservatorship while you and your legal team maintained you wanted the joint conservatorship to stay. Did not request a jury question naming the parties joint managing conservators, which O'Neill put all his eggs in one basket, and Anne and your legal team, you were not allowed to ask the jury questions because you filed too late, and O'Neill went after those questions. So we don't even know what those questions are. But yeah, Anne and her legal team were not allowed to ask anything because they filed too late. Which actually, thank God. Do not request a jury questioning the naming the parties joint managing conservators, but again, because both answers were not answered, I'm not feeling too well. Both questions given to the jury were not answered the same way. It fell back, defaulted to joint conservatorship. And did not object that no such question was asked. Accordingly, he has waived right to complain about trying the issue of joint managing conservatorship. Therefore, the court cannot keep the parties as joint managing conservators. Yes, it can. And yes, it freaking can. Because if that judge, the new judge, looks through the freaking transcript, she's going to find, once again, that Jeff is the only one that asked for sole conservatorship, and that you and your Barbie doll squad demonized Jeff for wanting sole conservatorship, and you made it a point that you wanted to keep the joint conservatorship and that you wanted to try to co-parent with Jeff, that Jeff wasn't a good co-parent. That was the entire freaking thing, one of the main points throughout that hearing. Man, you people are so full of shit. Additionally, neither party has put an issue the previous order's rights and duties. Has put at issue the previous order's rights and duties. No, as far as I'm aware, the previous orders rights and duties were changed because the previous orders and duties, Jeff didn't get a say over the medical stuff whatsoever freaking ever. Now he does, and you were throwing a shit fit in, trying to rack up the legal bills on top of other crap because you can't, James does not want to be Luna. Oh, and by the way, just to make the point stick a little bit more, if it hasn't already, so you guys heard about how, and the page has been posting this, again, Save James is not the media, I'm not the media, has been posting photos of the boys, so it's people close to Jeff and things like that. So there was one attempt for Jeff to have lunch with the boys and to be James, just as he wants to be a boy, James. So, and you guys remember the big media squabble, how the teachers made James change or claim, oh, well, James changed as soon as he got to school, blah, 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 blah. And there was at one point to where Gwen had posted that Anne had literally scared the shit out of James during their voice time, where after he got off the phone call with Anne, he was crying and sobbing in his bedroom with the covers over his head. So yeah, that was attempt number one, and I later found out that the teacher, the one person who had reported to Jeff, lied when she told him that there's no distress of James dressing as a boy. But turns out when Jeff went back and confronted her via email, hey, this is what these articles are saying. What's going on? And she goes, oh, well, I misspoke. I meant to say he was just after he changed. Well, there's a second attempt a day or so ago, if you guys recall, how James, Jude, and Jeff all had lunch together, all dressed as men. So it was 3 men having lunch at his school, which was awesome. So yeah, and there were smiley pictures and things like that. But yeah, so Anna's going out of her way to remove the judge because she didn't get her way. Even though the judge has given her everything thus far. And then she's trying to rack up legal fees by hiring one of the top appellant lawyers in Dallas, Texas, which, by the way, I think is the dumbest thing you could do. Nothing to this lawyer. I have nothing against this lawyer. I don't even know him. But you get the most expensive one, and you're going to be expecting Jeff to pay for it. It's not going to happen. It honestly, it really isn't. I don't know how many of these dumb motions you have filed, and you even have the amicus attorney, Stacey Dunlap, going, yeah, no, this should be denied, because they did have plenty of time to recuse the judge. They tried to get Jeff to do it a week before the hearing. They brought up I think they brought up one other thing to see if anyone wanted to file for recusal, and no, nobody did. So you'll hide your chances, and now you guys are full of this dumb shit because you did not get your way in. It's freaking pathetic, and it's embarrassing. Anyway, I will keep you guys posted. As soon as I hear something about the hearing, I will let you guys know. Okay? You guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, whatever time you guys see this, and yeah, just pray for the judge. Again, I'm not going to badmouth this new judge. I have dug into some things that makes me slightly uncomfortable, but at the same time, she did see through with the Tut family. You can dig into that. And without further ado, I'll catch you guys on the next one.